You know that phone in your pocket? Or the computer you're watching this on? What if I told you that inside, right now, there are literally billions of microscopic switches flipping on and off faster than you can even imagine? These tiny little engines are the heart of our entire digital world. They're called MOSFETs, and today we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how they work.
And I'm not exaggerating. When I say billions, I mean it. Your device is packed with them. They're the invisible, unsung heroes, doing all the heavy lifting to make our modern lives possible.
So, how on earth does this incredible little device actually do what it does? Well, here's the game plan. First, we'll get to know the switch itself. Then, we'll look at the special clay it's made from. After that, we'll actually build one, piece by piece. We'll figure out how to turn it on, how to control the flow, and finally, we'll learn how to read the secret code, the blueprint engineers use to draw it.
Okay, let's get the big, scary name out of the way first. It stands for Metal-Oxide-Semiconductor Field Effect Transistor. Yeah, it's a mouthful. That's why pretty much everyone just calls it a MOSFET. But don't let that long name fool you. At its core, a MOSFET is just a really clever switch that you control with voltage.
Now, you can't build a switch this sophisticated out of just anything. You need a very special kind of material, one with some almost magical properties. You need a semiconductor.
So what is a semiconductor? Well, usually it's silicon. And the cool thing about it is that it's not a great conductor, but it's not a great insulator either. It's kind of in that perfect Goldilocks zone, right in the middle. And that's its superpower. Because it's in the middle, we can nudge it one way or the other by adding tiny amounts of other elements. It's a process called doping.
And this doping process gives us two different flavors of silicon. If you dope it one way, you get N-type silicon, which has a bunch of extra free-roaming electrons. So it has a negative vibe. But if you dope it another way, you get P-type. Now, this kind has what we call holes. Just think of them as empty parking spots where an electron should be. And these empty spots can move around, acting like little positive charges. These two types, N and P, are the essential building blocks for our MOSFET.
Okay, so we've got our special materials. Now let's actually build something. And to make this a whole lot easier to picture, I want you to think of a MOSFET as a faucet, but for electrons. We're going to build it step by step.
First things first, every faucet needs a solid base, right? For our electron faucet, that's a slab of P-type silicon. We call this the substrate, or the body. This is the foundation that everything else gets built on.
Next up, we embed two pockets of N-type silicon right into our P-type base. These are going to act like the pipes for our faucet, the inlet and the outlet. We call one the source, which is where the electrons are going to come from, and the other the drain, where we want them to go.
Now, this next step is absolutely crucial. We lay down an incredibly thin layer of an insulator, usually silicon dioxide, which is basically glass, right on top, bridging the gap between the source and the drain. This little layer is the secret sauce because it makes sure no electricity can flow to our control handle.
And finally, right on top of that insulator, we place a metal plate. This is our control handle. We call it the gate. And that's it. We've built it. And if you think about it, the name tells you exactly how it's built. Metal on top of oxide on top of a semiconductor. See? Not so scary after all.
So we've built our faucet, but right now it's off. There's no path for electrons to get from the source to the drain because that P-type material is in the way. So how do we turn the handle and get the flow started?
This is where the magic happens. We apply a positive voltage to that metal gate. Now remember, opposites attract and likes repel. That positive voltage does two things at once down in the P-type silicon. First, it pushes away all those positive holes. At the same time, it attracts the few free electrons that are just kind of hanging around in the material. If we put enough positive voltage on the gate, enough electrons will gather right underneath it to form a tiny conductive bridge connecting the source and the drain. We call this the channel.
But here's the thing. This channel doesn't just appear with any tiny bit of voltage. You have to apply enough positive charge to really get those electrons to line up. And that minimum amount of gate voltage you need to create the channel and officially turn the switch on, well, that has a special name. It's called the threshold voltage. In our faucet analogy, it's like turning the handle just enough to get that first little trickle of water to start flowing.
Okay, so the switch is on. We've passed the threshold voltage, and we have our electron channel. Now, let's open the floodgates. Let's see what happens when we apply a voltage between the drain and the source to get those electrons moving.
At first, it behaves exactly like you'd think it would. As we increase the voltage pulling electrons towards the drain, more current flows. It's a nice, simple, linear relationship. More voltage, more current. Easy enough.
But then, something weird starts to happen. As we keep cranking up that drain voltage, the channel actually starts to get squeezed thin, or pinched off, right near the drain end. And once you hit a certain point, increasing the drain voltage doesn't get you any more current. The flow just maxes out, it becomes saturated. Now, this might sound like a limitation, but this ability to create a steady, predictable current is actually what makes the MOSFET so incredibly useful for building things like amplifiers and the rock-solid logic gates that power every computer.
So that leaves us with a puzzle, right? Our faucet is on full blast, but the flow is saturated. If pulling harder on the drain side won't increase the current anymore, what will? How do we get a stronger flow of electrons?
The answer has been staring us in the face the whole time. It's our control handle, the gates. If we increase the positive voltage on the gate, we pull even more electrons into that channel. This makes the channel wider, deeper, and just generally more conductive. And that allows a higher maximum current to flow before it saturates. It's just like turning the faucet handle even further to get a more powerful stream of water.
This relationship, the fact that the voltage on the gate controls the current from source to drain, is the whole secret. It's the key to everything. So now that we get the physics, let's take a quick look at how engineers draw this amazing device.
If you only remember one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. The MOSFET is a voltage-controlled device. The voltage you put on the gate controls the current flowing between the source and the drain. And because of that amazing little oxide insulator, almost zero current flows into the gate itself. You're controlling a big flow of current with just a little bit of voltage without ever touching the flow itself.
And you know what's really cool? The schematic symbol that engineers use brilliantly tells this entire story. Take a look. The gate line is just floating there, not touching anything. That shows you it's insulated. The line between the source and drain is broken into 3 parts. That tells you the channel doesn't exist normally, you have to create it. And that little arrow on the body? It points in, telling us it's an N-channel device built on a P-type substrate. It's all right there in the drawing.
So from this single elegant idea, controlling current with a voltage, we get everything from our smartphones to supercomputers. It's just an incredible piece of engineering. It really makes you stop and wonder, doesn't it? What's the next tiny, microscopic marvel that's going to come along and be the fundamental building block for the next technological revolution?